Hey friend, Levi here, and today is a day I've been looking forward to for over a year. The start of this year's sailing trips with the Adventure Film Academy. This morning we got up bright and early, took Florence. Florence has been basically sitting in the driveway for months now, so it's so good to get it out filled with people on a proper adventure. Driving up to now hop on a sailboat, and I've got some cool people I'm excited to have you get to meet. Are you ready for a week of this, Captain John?
I am, yes. Another one. I think I can make it through another one.
I'm known to be a little klutzy, so this is not a good.
When did you get in?
I got in at 3 o'clock this morning, Levi. It was a long night.
What a trooper. Always got to do it twice. Okay, goodbye, Florence. Stay safe. See you soon.
Don't fall, Brian.
You excited, Michael?
I am so excited. I could not be happier.
It's such a beautiful boat. It gets me every time. And we're off?
We're off. We're gone.
Where are we heading first thing?
Into the wilderness. I'm not sure where we're going. I guess we'll find out.
So this is a bit of a random start to this video and to this sailing trip, but I've got this Apple TV I just bought that I want to take apart and see if I can power it from a DC V-mount battery. And that would be beneficial because we don't have AC power in a lot of the places that I want to try use this. So let's crack this guy open and see if we can get some wires attached in the right spots and power this thing up. See how this goes. Hopefully I don't break it. Okay, so I got it apart. I'm pretty sure up here is my positive and negative DC terminals. I don't know for sure. I don't have a diagram. I'm flying by the seat of my pants. We don't have any internet. I'm just gonna go for it. Well, that was quick. I got it mainly back together. I've got my DC jack. I got a light! You got a light? I got a light! You see that solid white light? That's good news. I just have no idea if it's actually working. Oh, I'm so nervous to plug this in. Here we go. This is my Atomos monitor. Here's my HDMI cable. Yes! Woohoo! Look at that! Right, we got Apple TV in the middle of nowhere. It works! So this is awesome. This is great. The reason why this is great is normally you have to plug an Apple TV into an outlet of a wall or into an inverter to power this thing on. But now, from just a battery, albeit this is a massive battery, it doesn't have to be this big, I'm just using it as an example. This is on, and this is my Apple TV, and it works. Do you know why I'm excited about this, Brian?
I do, yes.
Because I can AirPlay my iPad straight to this, so throughout the week when we're doing little presentations here and there on different elements of storytelling or making a good video, I don't have to like hook cables up. All I have to do is have this Apple TV attached to my larger Atomos monitor.
Coolest. That is the coolest thing.
Okay, so we did a relatively brief motor, just kind of up and around to the top of Nelson Island, which is where Captain John has a sweet cabin. It's really beautiful, off the grid, in the middle of nowhere. He built it with his family with hand tools.
Okay.
Now reach over the top. He's doing it right.
Good there.
We've already been having so much fun that I've kind of been forgetting to film things. We're on the morning of day 2. Yesterday we just hung out in Captain John's beautiful cabin here and just spent time getting to know each other, sharing laughs, eating good food, and kind of diving into our first sessions together. But how cool is this place to just spend time hanging out, learning, trying to get better at our craft. It's a little sad, honestly, that on day 2 we are now leaving this spot. But every good story's got to start with the adventure actually starting. So today we're getting out of here. Gonna go try hunt down some waterfalls. But this morning, before we do that, we've got another session on kind of the 5 keys of storytelling that I've tried to distill and pull out that are just helpful guiding principles. This isn't a bad spot for a morning session.
This is not bad at all. I will take it all day long.
This is a great spot.
Hey, that's a great hoodie. See, like, how clean is this Apple TV setup, you know? It's like... So the hope is that some of these keys here, when we're in these places where we don't know what our story is yet, they can help us ask the right questions. Where are some of these factors that have played into every great story that exists? How can I be looking for those right now? How do you get someone to relate to what they're seeing on a box? My experience has been trying to get people to connect to just rocks, just nature, just beautiful shots is a much more difficult challenge than I ever would have expected. The biggest mistake we make as we go into the videos we do is we don't give our audience something to empathize with on camera soon enough in the video at all. These human elements. So we connect best human to human. That's how we relate to people around us. We are community-driven human beings. So the cool part about this is, as a shortcut, if we put someone on screen, that creates empathy. Just by the nature of putting a face onto a video, that is going to start to create connection with the viewer. Not with every viewer, not with every audience, but if you get a camera up close to your subject matter, up to yourself, and you put a face into a video, that is going to start to create connection. But when we know who our key human is, the guy that's going to be what drives the story forward, that allows us to start making some important decisions about what we don't include. And as beginners or in new spaces where it's all new, it's hard to know what not to include, but that is almost as important as what we do end up including in the final narrative that we tell back in our story form. So again, it's the living of the story and then it's the retelling of it. And we're trying to set ourselves up for success when we go to retell it later. If you find yourself in a spot where you're like, what am I doing? What am I doing? What video am I making for my YouTube channel next? I don't know. Well, how can you get the audience to connect more with an aspect of you? We think detailed is the best way to get a character to be known or liked by the audience. Just make them as detailed as possible. Like, describe every aspect of their backstory. Give every detail that you can. What actually ends up communicating far more quickly is just showing their values up against their weaknesses, trying to go towards a goal. So that's the layers that we're gonna keep talking about as we go into the next. It's my choice as a storyteller. What do I think is gonna add? What do I think is gonna pull away? What's gonna be distracting, what's not? So this is really cool. We get a world build for the viewer. We can very deliberately decide to show certain things. I've come to just rejoice when things go bad. And it's so hard to remember to be rejoicing in that as it's going bad, because usually as a filmmaker, you're kind of embedded in the team, and so you want the project to be a success. But as the project is going bad, the filmmaker inside of me is like, yes, this is awesome. Let's get to the boat and get out of here. We're heading up to my absolute favorite place in the world, and I always get a little sense of nervous excitement when I get to bring new people to my favorite place in the world. But well, we gotta get to the boat. Let's get out of here. What do you think of this spot, Brian?
I'm kind of sad we're leaving. I mean, not really, because there's a lot of good stuff still to see, but it is one of the best spots I've been to in a long time.
Do you think we're gonna find some sailing today?
The wind's picking up, so I think we have a good possibility. Oh, that's a good noise. You hear that? You just hear that little bit in the rigging? Just a teeny bit.
What time is it?
Yeah, it is.
Sailing time.
It's time to raise the sails.
Adam, have you ever sailed before? Sorry.
I have not. I don't really know what to expect, man.
It's awesome. That's.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Mike, we're not exactly rip-roaring, but we're sailing, you know?
I mean, look at this weather, the mountains, and we actually got some wind.
This is just incredible. To be here with these people right now is so good. It never ceases to bring me so much joy to be here.
We tipped a little too far, and coffee and pie and fruit went everywhere. It was a mess.
That is so sad. Oh.
Now we have no pie.
How you doing, Joshua?
Good, how you doing?
Good. Here we are heading up Princess Louisa. Hopefully there's some good waterfall action happening just kind of around this corner. It's a beautiful granite cliff face with all these, well, usually when the springtime snow melt is happening, there's all these rooster tails coming off the wall. There's already a waterfall right here. I guess now would be a good time to introduce you to everyone officially. You've met some people, but we've got Michael down here.
Hello.
Say hi, Michael.
Howdy.
We got Adam, shadow on your face. Brian, Joshua. We've got Mike down there. Hi, Mike. How's the view from out there?
Fantastic.
In this time of waking, it's gonna come around the bed.
That is unreal, man.
Anxiety is just making me go low. I try to handle it, it just never stops taking its toll on me. Remember you're okay.
So, waking up here in paradise with the most beautiful day you could possibly ask for. This was not in the forecast at all. And we're very pumped to go explore around. We were doing some sessions this morning, just kind of soaking it all in. And now it's kind of a choose your own adventure afternoon. There's kayaks, there's boats. We're gonna go try find ourselves a little exercise on a hike. In their kerfuffle of cleaning things up last night frantically as we were tired, somehow the iPad Pro ended up in the bottom of a sink in about an inch of water. It was just kind of marinating. I saw some reviewers say that it's just helpful to marinate your tech in the best of ocean water, and so that's what we were doing last night. And this morning, for whatever reason, it hasn't been turning on. So this is the Insta360 One X. And I've been very skeptical of the little 360 cameras that people can buy. But when I was hanging out with Maddie way back when we went on a helicopter flight together, I kind of saw him using this pull thing the whole time and just thought it looked ridiculous. But then the edit he put together actually looked really cool. And so the fact that it's this kind of tiny little package that makes it really effortless for shooting 360 content, this is kind of the first one that I've actually been willing to give a shot. Like, the technology has gotten that good where it's this small, and hopefully some of the stuff I've been shooting with it so far actually looks neat. If not, this is all a waste of time, but it's kind of fun actually messing around with one of these for the first time.
They really don't want us to do this hike, Mike.
So far, the advertisement has been pretty spot on for a scrambly little jaunt in the woods. Okay, we're starting to see a lot of blue sky above us, so I think we're getting close.
I feel like we might be here.
This is what they mean when there's not much cabin left. Well, there's definitely not much of that cabin left, but this waterfall is looking pristine. Oh my word! Look at that view down over there! The joy that comes from doing a hike where you were told the view sucks, and then it totally doesn't.
It does not suck at all. We've got water over that way, we got water right behind us. It's pretty great.
Well, that was awesome. I've never been up that hillside there, and such a treat just getting the heart pumping and actually working for a view. Getting to be back here in this space is so special to me. This was kind of like the first place that I actually started to get a taste of what adventure filmmaking could mean for me. And that's like its own kind of whole story on its own. So I might have to save that for another video, but gotta tell you, I couldn't be more happy with how things are going so far. It's always a little nerve-wracking when you meet a bunch of people from the internet and they're coming with expectations about the trip that you've promised to take them on, and to be now on day 3 and having it working is always just, that's humbling to me, because just trusting the process of getting people out into the outdoors and just being real with them, sharing just my perspective and asking for theirs in return, it just trusting that process to bring about good education and bring about good learning moments is, you don't know if those moments are going to happen, but I think we're finding them, which is very exciting. And me and Mike were having some good chats on the way up.
We had a great time.
He's trying to convince me to sign up for the Squamish 50-50, which is a 50 miler followed by 50K. Is that correct? You got the hat on?
It's gonna come around again.
Well, we have now left Princess Louisa. We're back in Jervis, and just over there is Patrick Point, where we're gonna anchor for the night. The rapids there, it's helpful to get out when it's at a slack tide, so that's why we're ducking out of the inlet tonight. Did everyone have an awful day? Just the worst day.
Worst day ever! I want to go home.
Society, I don't understand your goals. The majority, they just stress while looking down their phone. I wonder
while we sail alone.
Might not be able to see on camera, but we're going up and down.
Do you remember how I felt? Did you wonder how it went? Did you close your eyes? No. Did you close your eyes? No. 'Cause when I asked you where you went, when all I needed was your hand, I couldn't find you, but then I found you.
Here we are. After 6 days out in the water, we are back at port. It's definitely a bittersweet feeling to have this trip come to an end. I don't know, something about the way Captain John runs his boat and just, I guess, a special connection that people who make things have together. But I mean, this is now our second trip doing this style of sailing learning experience. And I'm just blown away of how, one, the quality of people that came, two, the quality of our experiences, and three, hopefully the lessons that were learned along the way. Even I just find myself, anytime we get a chance to talk about this stuff, I just get so fired up. And probably my favorite moment was last night during dinner, and we kind of all just went around the circle and shared encouragement for each other and just pointed out some strengths. And I think that's really special when you get a group of people together, they only have spent a few days together, and that they can already call out some really solid strengths in each other. So that, to me, the small part I played in bringing this trip together, to just see the trip become its own thing, is always just such a thrill for me.
Look, I love how many cameras are happening right now.
You ready to get people off your boat?
Yeah, I'm ready. It's like 10,000 pounds of gear, especially.
I mean, I know the porpoise is beautiful, but come on, Brian, look at that fan. Woo!
Looks pretty good.
Oh, door's open. That's a good sign. Okay. Going in for the turn on. And... nope, it's dead.
Okay, team. Looks like my battery is drained somehow. Okay, let's see. Yee-hoo! Okay, it's a little warmy. Again, I'm still just trying to process what this experience has all been. It's quite a privilege to be able to put videos on the internet and use those to connect with people and walk away with such an amazing week like what we just had. And it is sad saying goodbye. New friendships that were formed, and it's hard having something like this come to an end, but I think I'm almost more excited to now see what people go home and make. That, to me, is the point of all of this, is helping push people to make better, make more, make stuff they enjoy. That's my big passion, and so doing these trips are always my favorite. If you're curious what in the world this trip even was, I run the Adventure Film Academy. I've got some workshops that I do every year. We might make a video course sometime. I did a business course earlier this year with Story and Heart. So if you want some of the education stuff I talk through, that's a good thing to check out. But that's gonna be it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. In our next video-ish, we should be going on trip 2, which starts in 2 days. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. Looking forward to meeting some new people. Remember, life's better when you make stuff. Peace.
What do you say, Levi?
This epic. Yeah. Gonna go for our morning coffee swim. All a little tired still, and this is gonna be the nice jolt to the system. Some jellyfish in there to give us an extra little shock and sparkle.
Are you doing it? Yeah, I'm going. Are you ready?